Today, we will listen to what Joe and his guests talk about the danger of crocodiles.
Interesting to me is how some animals, their progress or their evolution remains stagnant, like crocodiles. They're essentially the same way they were tens of millions of years ago.
Yep.
Whereas humans, it's this marked change over the last 500,000 years, a spectacular change.
Yep.
You know, or 2 million years ago, the doubling of the human brain size, like really quickly, like this special moments in evolution. But then other things don't grow at all. But then you have these lions that get trapped on this island. They go, okay, we got to get way bigger.
Right.
And we got to fuck up these buffalo. It's the only thing we can eat. You can't fuck up a buffalo if you're little.
Right.
And the bigger survived, and those are the ones that bred. I mean, it's so interesting to see how this stuff sort of plays out, and that we're studying it, and really over the last only few hundred years are really getting an understanding of it.
Even less than that. I mean, we're really only starting to understand it on a big picture now.
Wow.
Yeah, it is amazing. And everything in between, like you said, these crocodiles reaching their pinnacle of evolution tens of millions of years ago, and us constantly evolving. It's insane. The living world is so fascinating.
Have you ever seen the video of these people? They're in a crocodile park and they're feeding these crocodiles, and this lady's like chucking chickens out.
Oh, yeah.
And then the one crocodile bites the other crocodile's leg off.
And does the death roll, and the leg
other one
comes straight
barely
off.
even moves.
Mm-hmm. It's just like,
leg comes off and it just goes like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
It doesn't even move. It doesn't react in pain.
Nothing. I know the exact video you're talking about. It went totally viral.
Yeah.
And he just rolls and the leg just pops right off.
And then he swallows his foot. Swallows his buddy's foot. Like fucking A.
It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts.
That is a cleanup machine.
Yeah.
That's a 65 million year old cleanup machine.
Yep.
And they figured out, this is a great, it's like a hammer.
Yeah.
You know how to make a hammer, right?
Right.
There's no new hammers.
Exactly right.
Hammers, like, this is it. There's a stick, and then the end, there's a metal thing, and bang, bang, bang. It's a hammer. That's a hammer.
And it's a perfect tool.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yep.
I mean, there's different size hammers. You got a Cayman.
Yep.
And you got a Nile Crocodile.
Exactly right. That is a very good analogy. I'm going to use that the next time that someone asks me to explain that, because that's genius. This is a hammer.
It's like they nailed it. There's no reason to make another knife. Knives are knives.
Right.
So sharp edge, handle at the bottom. Got it.
Right. It's exactly right. No, I love crocodilians. I think they're just so interesting. I don't know if I told you the story. When we were in Myanmar, we were retracing the Ramri massacre. Are you familiar with the Ramri massacre?
No.
You'll love this. So during World War II, when the Japanese were holding Ramri Island in Burma, Myanmar, the Allies came in and started making the Japanese retreat. And in the course of like 2 days, 1,000 Japanese soldiers were eaten by crocodiles, by saltwater crocodiles.
What?
Yeah. So they were retreating
in 2 days?
In 2 days. I mean, some reports say it was over a couple of weeks, but the general consensus is 1,000 soldiers were eaten by crocodiles in a very short amount of time. And it was this kind of perfect storm of situations where, because there were all these soldiers, they were eating all the prey. All the crocodiles were particularly hungry because of that. When the Allies pushed all the Japanese back into the swamps, they started screaming, and one scream would trigger all the others, just like all the crocodiles, to get into a frenzy, and it just wiped out this entire populace of people that ran through the swamp. And so we went and retraced these steps to figure it out. We're like, why did this happen? To try and understand it better. And while we were there, this kid got attacked by a crocodile that was 100 years old. So probably the same animal that had eaten people during World War I, or one of them, right? And we saved this kid's life. Like, we got to the village and he had just been pulled out from this croc attack. His arm was broken in like 25 places. He was torn up. He had lacerations all over his leg, his ankle, his arm. And
how'd you get him out of the crocodile's mouth?
We didn't. So he fought off the crocodile, basically. And then the buddy he was with fishing pulled him into the boat and got him back to the village.
What a savage that kid is. He
Totally.
fought off a fucking crocodile?
And a big one.
How did he do it?
We don't know. We were so focused on saving the kid because myself and one other guy had medical training, so we were stopping the bleeding and bandaging him up. And we had the only speedboat because we had to get to this island, and this is very, very remote. So we got this kid on the speedboat and got him back to a hospital, and he lived. I think he lost the arm, but he was just going to bleed out and die right there in the village.
100-year-old crocodile. There probably was one of the crocodiles that ate the Japanese people
during the Ramri massacre.
Fuck.
Yeah.
God damn. My friend Jim Shockey was in Africa, and they had hired him to hunt crocodiles that were terrorizing this one village. These people had fenced off this area where they could get water and clean and do and crocodiles had figured out a way to get through that and attack. And everyone in the village had like a bite mark here, a missing hand, a bite on their head. Like so many people had lost loved ones and friends. And while he was there, a woman who was washing clothes got killed by a crocodile while he was in the village. And these are Nile crocodiles, so these enormous, 20-foot long plus, huge killing machines.
And these are, I try and dispel anybody that says to me, oh, these animals were hunting people. And I'm like, no, they were not. Crocodiles are. Do you know what I mean? Crocodiles will hunt human beings. They will lock in outside of a small village or an area that someone's collecting water. They'll spend weeks watching, studying the pattern, learning the behavior, and just wait for the perfect time where they can sink under, sit right there waiting for someone to gather water. In my opinion, they're not distinguishing that from another prey animal. They just know this thing's coming to water here at this pattern, and they will absolutely target people.
100%. They don't care if you're a person.
Exactly.
That's a weird thing about people. We feel like we have some sort of a deal.
Right.
Well, they're not really after you.
Right.
Sharks aren't after people.
Right.
Like, what are you talking
They're
to
trying
sharks?
to eat. Yeah.
Do you have a treaty with sharks? Like, what are you talking about, man? Like people have this weird thing about animals, and when animals find out how easy we are to eat.
Yeah.
Then it becomes a real problem.
Yeah, I mean, Lions of Tsavo, right? Those famous lions, they were targeting people. The Ghost in the Darkness.
That's a great movie.
Fantastic movie. Yeah.
Oh,
and
so
they were targeting
scary.
people. They knew that people were easy prey, and they're like, cool, we're going to keep eating them.
Once they get a few meals, and they're like, not bad, and fucking real easy to catch.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's like the opposite of fast food. Yeah,
we're like mussels growing on the beach. Yeah, just pluck them.
Totally.
Yeah, that's a crazy place. Costa Rica's wild, man. Crocodiles and shit. That was another interesting place I visited. The crocodiles are a trip, man, because we were in a boat and we went on this sort of tour of this river system. And you go on a tour of the river system, and I'm watching this fucking 15-foot crocodile slide into the water from the bank. I'm like, fuck. And you see the crocodile slides all over the banks because these rivers are just filled with crocodiles. And so anytime my kid would come anywhere close to the railing of the boat, I'm like, hey, let's stay over here. Let's stay in the middle. Get the fuck away from the monsters.
I met this dude a long time ago. I don't remember where I was, but we were sitting around a fire talking about like bizarre experiences we'd had traveling, whatever. He was from, I think, New Hampshire, and he had a thing, like you and Marshall go running every morning. He had a thing where he and his dog would go down to the lake and take a swim every day at dusk. When he got home from work, he'd take the dog for a swim. It was a black lab, I think. And he went to visit his brother in Florida. And he drove down there, and his brother was out, and when he arrived, and it was around dusk, and he's like, let's go for a swim. There's a lake, and he jumps in the water with his dog, and they're swimming across the lake, and it's quiet, right? And he hears this plop, plop. And he's like, wow, what was that? That's a weird sound. And then he realizes, I'm in fucking Florida. I'm not in New Hampshire. There are alligators here. What the fuck am I doing? So he turns around and starts swimming back, and he's swimming along, trying not to panic. And the fucking dog goes, arr, arr. Dog's gone. Fucking alligator croc came up and took his dog. Never saw the dog again. What?
It could have been him, too.
Yeah.
One of my favorite alligator stories from Florida is there was a high-speed chase. Guy had a stolen car, and he gets to a bridge. The cops are chasing him. Guy jumps out of the car, jumps off the bridge, gets eaten immediately by an alligator. Literally landed in front of the alligator. And the alligator just
lucky day.
Snap. They don't eat people that often, but they definitely will.
Yeah, in Africa they do.
Well, the crocodiles.
Crocs, yeah.
Alligators are less aggressive than crocodiles, and there are crocodiles in Florida, but they're much less frequent.
What's the difference?
American alligator's a smaller animal. They have a longer, pointier snout, and they have more exposed teeth. An alligator has a blunt, more rounded face, and they get much larger than American crocodiles. American crocodiles are pretty small. American alligators get pretty fucking big.
So in Africa, do they have crocs and alligators?
No, Africa is just crocodiles.
Just crocs,
They have
okay.
much more
huge.
aggressive crocodiles,
Yeah.
too. They have Nile crocodiles.
Right. You see them take those water buffalo and stuff.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Saltwater crocodiles.
I thought I'd seen video of what you said, so I Googled it. 4 different times, at least in the last couple of years, this has happened. One guy lost his arm. 2 people died.
The Florida thing?
Getting chased by the cops and ended up getting eaten by an alligator. It's not just one time. It's
But
happened.
that's fucking Florida, man.
Florida, man.
Florida is so wacky.
Yeah.
That is the place where all the refugees and the outcasts, they all go to Florida, man. Yeah. Yeah, more than once. I'm sure. It makes sense. When you jump in the water, man, you're risking it. Like, just because alligators don't eat people as often as crocodiles do in Africa, it doesn't mean that they wouldn't. They don't have a rule book.
Right.
Like, oh, that's a person, shouldn't
Right.
eat them. They don't give a fuck if you're a dog or a person or a kid.
Yeah.
There was an alligator ate a baby at Disney World.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, a fucking 2-year-old baby playing by the water. The alligator
That's
just
gotta be-
slides up onto the bank, snatch, pulls it right under.
Oh, man.
Fuck!
That's
Fuck
a
those
bad
things.
day. Yeah.
When I lived in Florida, when I was a kid, we lived in Gainesville, and there was alligators everywhere. And I remember one of them snatched some lady's dog, and I was like, Jesus Christ! I didn't know they killed people's dogs.
Yeah.
Because you would see them floating around, and they seemed so innocuous because they were almost always still.
Yeah.
They very rarely moved. There was signs they didn't want you to feed them marshmallows. People would throw marshmallows, and the alligators would eat marshmallows.
And they just don't want you
They don't
because they
digest them
float.
well.
The marshmallows
Yeah.
float, I guess. Yeah.
And they would just chew them up and swallow them. So people would throw marshmallows at the alligators just to see it. And that was back when alligators were endangered. This was in the late 70s. And they're not endangered anymore. In fact, you could kill as many of, like, you can get a commercial hunting tag for 500 alligators. I watched that on that Swamp People show.
Never seen it.
There's a show about alligator killers. They're just killing alligators because
Do you
there's
know
a commercial market.
the last Indians to be pacified? I hate that phrase. In the United States, the last tribe to finally give up was the Seminole in the Everglades.
Yeah.
Like after the Apaches and the Sioux and all that. Yeah, because man, the Everglades,
they
that
take
would be
pride
a
in
weird
that.
life.
Yeah.
To
Fuck.
live in the Everglades.
Well, the Everglades are another thing that human beings ruined because of white trash people in Florida. Because releasing pythons, there's literally nothing left alive in the Everglades. All the deer are missing. All the raccoons are missing. All the marsh hares gone.
Yeah.
Everything's missing. Like, these scientists and biologists have done these surveys of wildlife, and the difference between like 1980 and 2019 is so unbelievably stark.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. And it's all those fucking dorks that want to keep pets, and then they release them. They release them out there in the wild.
Yeah.
North or something, like 200, whatever. It's like
The closest saltwater croc.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, they keep a track, like, they're pretty vigilant about where they are, what rivers they would be.
You have
Because they got to
to.
warn people, like,
Yeah.
don't swim here. Some people don't listen. They're stupid and they die. But, like, a croc's not going to just sort of give you an exploratory bite like a great white might and leave you.
No, they're going to snatch you.
And they're, and they're not going to get the surfboard in the way from the underbite, They're going to...
There was a horrible story that I read. I think it was in National Geographic about these 2 people that were kayaking in a river in Africa, and this guy watched.
Third guy went with them. Did you... This might be a different story.
I don't know. What story did you hear?
This one was like these 2 guys were going to do a first descent down this thing, and they were contacting another guy who had done that river, an American guy. Mm-hmm. And the American guy was like, I can't miss this descent. I got to do this. I got to do that whole river. And then the 3 of them got into this zone where there was just crocs everywhere, and the river was real slow and wide. And as soon as they got there, all the crocs came off the river bank. And they were like, oh, shit, there's like tons of them. Oh. And this guy's theory was to take his helmet and throw it off to the side so it would be like movement and distract them, and they'd attack that, and he'd paddle to the shore. And all 3 of them got together, and the American guy was on the right side, and the other 2 guys were together, and they were so close, they could, like, the guy in the middle like couldn't really paddle. He was just kind of like, trying to move along with them. And so they figured if the bigger we are, the bigger we look and more intimidating, like maybe we'll be okay. 15, 18-foot croc comes up, grabs the guy, pulls him out of his kayak, disappears. They never see him again. His backpack floats up, and then his stuff's floating downstream. The other two guys get out of the water, and I think I'm telling the story pretty good because I read it like 5 times online too. And they got out of the water, and then there was a little village just down, and there was a little bridge over, and there were some boats, but the boats were all dry docked. And they went down, and in broken English, there was one person that could talk to them or whatever, and they said, we know our boats are not in the water because there's too many crocs here. Like, we know not to go in the water. Because they were like, we need a boat, we got to find his body, we got to try and save him, And then they went to this bridge and watched this stuff, like, float by.
That's the same story.
Yeah, and the guy wasn't supposed to be on the trip.
And there was about the guy, the kayak flipping and then pulling his body out under the kayak.
Yeah, brutal.
They're monsters. There's a show called Uncharted.
Dinosaurs.
They really are.
Yeah.
There's a show called Uncharted by you ever seen that show?
Yeah.
My friend Jim Shockey is
Florida.
That's 15-foot fucking alligator they found in Florida strolling across the golf course. And the next day they found a giant rattlesnake strolling across a golf course. Look at the size of that thing.
I was friends with Steve Irwin, so I used to go to.
God, look at the size of that thing.
It's massive.
It's on a golf course.
Here's the thing. I think there's a misconception about the crocs, and they actually talked about this because I used to be friends with Steve Irwin before he passed away. He actually had me hand feed a 13-foot croc. Scariest thing I've ever done in my life. Terrified.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. He told me, you got to feed a croc. He's like,
that.
Kelly, you ready, mate? You got to feed a croc. You got to feed aggro.
Oh.
So for 2 nights,
are so crazy.
For 2 nights, I had nightmares. Look at it. What
is this guy doing?
What's this guy doing?
I told you I saw this a few weeks ago.
What's this guy doing?
He's feeding them?
Why is he doing
Look
that?
at the
hand.
heads of these things. Look at their heads.
I can't zoom in.
Good Lord. And these are wild crocs.
Yeah.
Well, they look pretty like they know this guy's going to feed him something. They know something's in that bag.
What the fuck ever, man? Look at the heads on these things.
But see, this is like the conception the concept we have about these animals, right? We just think that they're just killers and whatever. Do you ever see the guy in Limon, Costa Rica, who had a pet 15-foot croc?
Yeah, I
that
did
he
see
raised?
that. That guy's an asshole. This is crazy.
Yeah.
It's a crazy animal, man.
Yeah, crocs freak me out. But I kind of mess when I'm playing golf. I play a lot of golf. When I'm in Florida, I always mess with the gators. Like I'll grab them by the tail.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
And it's kind of, I don't know. It's just like
it's fun until you get your arm bit off, dude.
Yeah, I guess. But this guy's not even worried. He doesn't even need to backstep. He's like,
Well, those are smaller.
yeah, but that thing's still going to rip your arm off if
for
it
sure.
death rolls.
But that's so small in comparison to those other ones.
I was fishing in Australia in this freshwater river, but it goes down to the ocean, so saltwater crocs come up it. To a certain point, there's like this dam, and they don't go past that. So up here's all the fresh water, down here's fresh and salt water. And we saw a few 15-foot crocs this day. And we're in a boat that was 6 feet wide and about 18 feet long, 15, 18 feet long. And, the guy taking us, he said, we don't have a problem in this boat, but, if you fell out of the boat, there's a fucking problem. But he was telling us a story one day how he's fishing with these guys, and this one guy standing up in the boat fishing, he falls out of it. And the guy was about 250 pounds or something, like a big dude, like maybe 300 pounds. He was like a big overweight guy. And he fell out of the boat, and the guy said the guy was in the water for about 2 minutes. And he was just like, any second, this guy is dead. He's like, there's nothing I can do. And he said it was all they could do they had to get him from the front of the boat. He was trying to come up the side, and he couldn't, and he was panicking. So when people go into panic mode, like when people are drowning and they're panicking, they say you got to punch them in the face and try to knock them out and calm them down. And they couldn't punch this guy. Like they were trying to get him to calm down, and they had to get him all the way to the back of the boat because they had to get him up the transom. And they said from there they could get leverage and lift him, and it wouldn't flip the boat or whatever.
Right.
But he said this guy was in the water for a couple minutes, and he's like, at any time there's a croc that's big enough to eat you within sight of us here at all times. But this guy said that the biggest, I said, what's the biggest one you ever seen? Because we've seen 15-foot crocs like every 20 minutes, every half an hour. We see a 15-foot.
Fuck,
yeah, no, giant freaking croc.
Really?
Yeah, and we're fishing.
Oh my God.
And we were fishing for barramundi.
That's a crazy fish.
Yeah. And And so we're fishing for barramundi, and I keep thinking, like, I don't know, when you got one in the line, is like a shark, will it bite that thing or whatever? And anyways, we start asking the guy, what's the biggest one you ever saw? And he said, Mike, the biggest one I ever saw was about 28 feet.
28 feet.
29 feet maybe.
Oh
And he said
my
he's
God.
only seen it once, and he saw it from about a kilometer away, and they estimated the size. And he said these guys in a helicopter saw it once. And it doesn't stay in the river, it stays out in the ocean. And he said it's so smart, it knows it's in silty water where nothing can see it. There's nothing as big as it. It owns its territory,
28 feet.
Yeah, and he said that the back, we're in the 6-foot boat, and he said if this thing, he goes, I tell you this how big they are. He goes, this one would be. He said if it was under our boat, it would be sticking out about 4 to 6 feet on either side across its back sideways. And we're in a 6-foot wide boat. So he said it'd be like 15 foot across its back. Like that's how.
What the fuck?
So think of the girth of something that big.
15 feet across the back?
Yeah, that's what this guy told me. I don't know. We didn't see it.
Oh my God.
But I mean, we're seeing, 15 footers that are like its girth close to that. Like a great white, when you see a 15-foot great white, its girth is 15 feet pretty much.
They're so fat.
Yeah, once they get like 10 feet, then they start getting fat and their girth gets about the length of them. So if you see a 15 or 20-foot, 18-foot great white and you measure their girth, it's pretty much their length.
How big do crocs get? What's
I don't
the
know. This
biggest
guy
croc?
said, I don't know. This guy's claiming it's like, must be the biggest croc in the world. But there was one they called Gus or something in Africa. I used to late night just YouTube this stuff. And they were saying this is one that had eaten, like, they think it's eaten over 100 or 200 people in these villages.
Oh, Jesus.
And they think it's like 23 feet long or something.
Well, this Jim Shockey show that I was talking to you about, Uncharted, they
Gustavo.
hired him.
Gustavo.
Look at that fucking thing. The Savannah King. Is that a perspective shot, though? Look how far back those guys
I know,
are.
you wonder. You wonder.
Yeah, but people do that with pigs, and they make them.
I
look
do that with
giant.
my fish when I
28
catch a fish.
Yeah,
I put it right by the lens.
It says 28 feet 4 inches, so that makes sense. Like, what's
It's a
that?
replica of it.
That's a replica of how big it was.
Yeah.
Fuck that thing. Fuck that thing and everything that was alive before it that made it.
Dinosaurs too,
Now, look
like
at this. Go back to that picture, Jamie. That replica. Make that larger. The replica, and just make that larger. Look at the size of that fucking thing.
well,
Like, what is the largest confirmed one?
That's why I have
Because
a-
if that one is 28 feet 4
one I
inches,
have here is
this thing,
20.
the thing about that when they said 28 feet 4 inches, that's like back when people were full of shit.
yeah. I mean, this guy who told me, this Aussie guy might have been trying to freak me out too. I mean, because
Puerto
the back,
Rico. Look at that one
thing's
right there.
That thing's 20 feet, and it's not 20 feet across its back or 12 feet. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
but another 8 foot long is pretty. That's
Yeah.
a lot
The-
bigger and wider.
Well, you see, when you see like a 5-foot alligator, and then you see a 10-foot, the girth relative to the length changes at that.
He says it's like he's talking about the ratio and the size. It's
Yeah.
like 1 point.
Right. What does it say? Number one. Why does it say number one candidate?
This is a list of the top 10. So I think
of
there's
largest
bunch,
crocodile.
yeah. There's-
Cambodia crocodile, 7 meters. Now, is this just the species they're talking about?
Yeah, this is just the 5 largest crocodiles ever recorded on this.
Oh, okay.
list.
Cambodia. Show the picture of the Cambodia one. 23 feet.
That doesn't have a picture.
Oh, it doesn't?
This was the only one that had a picture.
Why would you not take a picture of a 23 foot long crocodile? Trust me, bro. Shit was big. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that there's probably bigger ones out there. I know there was a super killer croc that went extinct that far dwarfed those
that were
things.
60 feet or whatever.
Just giant, enormous.
I
Like
had a
extinct. Pull up that extinct giant crocodile.
I had a friend who was a commercial fisherman in South Africa, and he told me, he's like, bro, the biggest sharks are way bigger than you think. He's like,
Really?
yeah. And I go, I want to see a picture or something. He said, I'll tell you this. I was on a 60-foot boat with 10 guys fishing. Almost, he said, like everybody in the boat saw the shark. He said it came up next to their boat. They were 20 miles off of Port Elizabeth, where there's this reef they fish. And he's claiming the thing was more than half the length of their 60-foot boat.
What?
Yeah, he's like, it was 35 feet. That's what he tells me.
What is the biggest great white?
Like 20.
But he's saying it's bigger than that.
Jacques Cousteau supposedly filmed one in Cape Verde that they didn't have anything. They couldn't tell the size because they didn't have something next to it. He said it was close to 10 meters, which is 30 feet. But this guy's telling me, he goes, no, I've seen the shark twice out there, is what he told me. But I don't know.
They're out there every day. That's the thing.
Yeah.
How many people are out there?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know,
And
it's like people.
where are the biggest ones? The biggest ones are smart, you know?
Yeah.
Like I rarely see a big shark. Rarely. I've seen a couple of great whites in South Africa jump.
Look at that thing. That is a replica of something that used to exist.
12 animals you're glad is extinct.
Look at the fucking skull. This guy's basically standing inside the skull of this crocodile.
It's so freaky.
Fuck that, man. Well, that's the premise of that stupid movie, The Meg.
Meg
the
is,
Megalodon
yeah,
movie.
I won't even watch it. Come on. It's just like
How come?
I don't know.
It's so
do you remember
stupid.
that? Do you remember that movie, The Deep Blue? Is that what it's called? And there was a shark that there were sharks they were training, like they were like GMO sharks or something. Like these genetically cloned sharks, and they were supposedly training them, and then they got too smart and they started eating everyone. And then there's the
Like
girl,
Jurassic Park
the
style?
hot girl in the bikini, and she has to take off her wetsuit because it's rubber. I don't know. You see these movies, and you just like the artistic license on these things is so bizarre. There's no truth to it. It's
Is this
like.
it?
Yeah, Samuel Jackson was in it.
There we go. And
Is
he
he
starts
gonna get
talking
the guy
about.
out of the
He goes,
water?
You know what? Dangerous? Water's not dangerous. Ice is dangerous.
Going to fight anymore. We're going to pull together and we're going to find a way to get out of here.
Spoiler.
First, we're going to seal off this movie.
Yeah.
Good movie.
See that? I mean, I
Solid.
wouldn't
Didn't see that coming at all.
I wouldn't go in the water for seconds after that. I saw that movie. I actually was with Samuel L. Jackson like 3 weeks ago in Paris. We were
Now, when
playing
you-
golf together.
How big?
I
do you
wanted to
think-
ask him about that, but I didn't have the balls.
I mean, how big do you think they could be and people don't know? I mean, 30 feet sounds reasonable. If they think they're 25 feet, there could be one that's 30 feet.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I think it's reasonable to go, but that's a lot more years and eating, no one saw it during that time. I mean, it's kind of like UFOs. I got to see one.
Yeah,
I gotta see an
guess,
alien.
but you've
I don't
seen
know.
sharks, and we know they get big, and we're not. How many people are out there looking for them? That's the thing.
But they
the
filmed
ocean's
one.
massive.
They filmed one they called Big Blue last year, I think, in Guadalupe Island. I think it was, and it was 21 or
video
22
online?
feet. Yeah, the video's online, and it's how big they look, right?
Yeah.
This thing's face and nose look small because its body's so huge. It must have been a pregnant female or something.
Oh,
but
wow.
its body looks like even bigger around than the length, and they said it was 20.
There
Yeah,
it
look at
is.
this thing. See, like its face almost looks like small compared to its
What the fuck? Oh my god!
But see the girth? The girth is so freaky.
World's largest shark, 7 meters. So that's
Yeah, so
21
22 feet,
Yeah.
23 feet.
What the?
This guy touches it too.
Man.
That guy comes out of the cage and touches it.
Look at the size of this thing.
That's another thing. The shark feeding freaks me out. This guy touched it. Watch. He just comes out and he's like, I got to touch this
That guy's
creature.
an
I
asshole.
got to.
Get out of there, bitch.
But see, like its face almost looks small compared to how.
Right.
Oh, it's so
so
freaky.
massive.
It's so scary.
That is so big. It looks like a whale. It literally looks like a whale. Oh my god! And to think that there's something out there that's 10 feet bigger than that.
Well, a killer whale could eat that thing's liver without
Oh, yeah.
thinking about it.
Snap it in half.
And a killer whale's just a dolphin. It's so weird to think
Yeah.
that thing has dominance over that thing.
It is, but they're just so much smarter.
Yeah.
It's not even
Yeah,
close.
yeah.
They're so much more agile,
Yeah.
so much smarter.
This one too is 400
How often?
years old.
What?
This is a seven gill. What do they
shark
call
is
it?
that? Oh,
a Greenland, shark.
shark. Yeah, they think wasn't that one of the speculations of what the Loch Ness monster was? I think that was
maybe.
some sort of
But
a
it-
landlocked green or not
Yeah,
landlocked.
but it wouldn't have been in the lock.
No, they think it was in the lock because it was trapped because
I
the
think that
lock
was a
used to be connected to.
I think that was a twig.
could be.
That was a
It could
fucking
be.
driftwood, man.
Or it could be like a sturgeon or some shit like that. Like there was one of those Lake Champlain or one of those
Yeah, the
lakes.
sturgeons are huge.
Yeah, sturgeons are crazy
Freaky,
looking.
yeah.
That's another
An
dinosaur.
alligator gar. You seen those things?
Oh yeah,
Those
man.
are
My
freaky.
friends went fishing for them.
Yeah.
They have them in Texas.
Yeah.
You can catch them in Texas. Those things are bizarre.
I don't think you're noodling for those things.
No. That's another thing that's hundreds of millions of
Yeah.
years old, right?
Yeah, I mean that would be. I'd love to go take my friends and just go noodling. Sometimes sounds kind of creepy. Your girlfriend be like, "What noodling?"
Oh, for catfish?
But
But you get accidentally get turtles sometimes.
those snapping turtles would bite your arm off, wouldn't it?
Well,
That's
fuck
one of the
your
scariest
hand up.
thing.
They'll fuck your
That
hand
looks like
up.
it would just break your arm in half.
Probably fuck you up. I mean, I'm sure dudes have probably lost fingers snapping turtles.
Sure, those.
What's that?
Yeah, I accidentally Googled that and the snapping turtle incidents popped up.
There
Oh,
it is.
guys losing their hands?
No, see, that's just not
Oh,
cool.
don't show me this.
Because that's like two
Ouch.
razors. They're like two razors that go.
Yeah, like garden shears.
Yeah, yeah.
Taking your fucking arm off. You know, that's what's happening with snakes in the Everglades. Do you know about that? Dude, you don't know about the Everglades?
Nope.
anacondas and pythons and shit. Mostly pythons.
Because dudes had them as pets and then they let them
They
go.
let them go. Eddie, they're finding them now. They're 17, 18 feet long.
Anacondas or pythons?
Pythons.
Shit.
They're eating alligators. They did a study.
Is there video of that?
Oh, yeah. They have photos of it, and there's video. There's video. You can watch them eat an alligator.
In Florida?
In Florida.
God damn.
Yeah, they're giant. And
Whoa.
they're infested. So they did a biological survey of the Everglades, and they were down like 99% in some animals, like deer, 99% marsh hare, like
Gone.
like 98%, 95% raccoons, that kind of shit. They don't see anything.
Are they killing people too?
Oh, they
Pythons?
will. For sure, some fucking rednecks have disappeared.
And they just don't talk
Guarantee.
about
I guarantee. I
it. We'll
guarantee.
just let that go.
If you wanted to get rid of somebody, man, take them to Python country.
Are they doing
Just
anything
swallow
to
your
control
ass.
the population of these snakes?
There's not much you can do. Have you ever seen the Everglades?
You can set up traps. Are you kidding?
Show Eddie
Them
Bravo.
hillbillies are
Young Jenny.
geniuses with that kind of shit.
Bro, there's too many of them.
Over
You don't know?
150,000
Of what?
snakes.
Yeah, there's over
In the
150,000
Everglades?
pythons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did they count?
They have rough estimates based on quadrants. So like what they'll do is they'll take and it's not 100% accurate unless they tag all of them, in which case they're assholes. They should have just killed them. But because they're an invasive species for people who don't know, they're not from Florida at all. So they're just devastating the ecosystem, and they're turning on alligators. They're eating alligators now because they've basically run out of everything else to eat. It's a crazy fucking animal. So what they would do is they would take, I would guess, like a chunk of the Everglades, like 100 square yards or something like that, and they'd measure the amount, and then they would do another one. They would do it like several places, and then take an average, and then calculate all the square footage, and that's why they'd be pro or con.
You would think like hundreds of people would have been killed already.
No, because I don't think that many people, first of all, go in there, and I don't think they want to eat people. I think they probably don't know what the fuck a person is. Where they see a rabbit or some other shit, that probably looks like food. People are wearing clothes. I'm just guessing. I know they do jack people, though, overseas. There's been horrible videos of guys getting cut out of giant snakes. You never seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Some poor villager.
Yeah, woman missing, and then they find the snake and they go, "We found her." Like
Yeah.
they know they
Look
found
at this
her.
motherfucker. Bounty hunter kills gargantuan Burmese python, gets $375 and earns our undying gratitude. Look at the
Holy
size of that
shit.
thing, dude.
17.5 feet.
So these
What
things
part
are
of Florida? What like
the
Jacksonville or
the
something?
Everglades, wherever the Everglades
North
are.
of Miami.
The Everglades is a giant ass
On
swamp.
the Gulf side?
Middle. Like the both sides kind of depending. It's like a big swampland.
Show Eddie an overhead view of the Everglades, because the Everglades are fucking bananas. One thing that they found that was interesting.
It's like all that.
Yeah,
green
that
area.
Shit.
Yeah, so all that stuff is dense swamp. That's just monster soup. The tip of the dick of Florida is monster soup. That's what that is. You got some leaves. You got some basil. You got some bees. Fucking snakes. You got some grass. You got some shit growing out of the ground. And you got fucking alligators and snakes in a aliens versus predator battle to the death down in Florida.
How would Joey describe the Everglades?
Listen, cocksucker. These fucking dirty white people with their stinky feet. Oh, you want a fucking snake? Oh, what do you want? I'm a Wiccan. Get the fuck out of here. The guy kicks his fucking kid out of the house. The kid can't feed the snake. Next thing you know, monster soup.
Shit.
I mean, it really is down to these two super predators battling it out to the death. And right now, I mean, I don't see any pictures of the alligators eating the pythons. Do we have video of alligators eating pythons? So they're eating each other.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess it's just
that's good. At least
everybody's eating everybody.
I'm
Jesus
rooting for the
Christ, man!
alligator.
That thing's got a whole deer in its body.
Is this Florida?
Yeah. It's just the same article.
Jesus Christ, man! They can swallow a whole deer. That is so nuts. They're not even as wide as us. Imagine not being as wide as a person, and you could swallow a whole deer. It says it had a 35-pound white-tailed fawn in it. It was eating 111%? Oh, 11.1%.
No, 111%. It was
What?
a 31-pound snake eating a 35-pound deer.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck. They
I
just
didn't read
eat
that
it.
part.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That is so ridiculous. Yeah, they can eat their whole body weight.
Yeah.
But did you ever see that? You've seen that. We've showed that video of the frog, or was it a frog or a toad that ate the mouse?
Sure.
The mouse is bigger than him, bro. He just fucking eats it. I didn't know that toads did that. I had no idea. This video, there's like the little white mouse is in this cage, just like looking around with this frog, and this frog just like slowly comes closer to him, slowly comes closer, and then swap, just half his body. And you see this mouse trying to kick and get the fuck out of there, and the frog just like slowly just chokes him down. I had no idea.
Ate insects.
That's what I thought too. They figured it out. See, if people believe in evolution, right? I believe in evolution. If people believe in evolution, why do we think it stops with us? Why don't we think these goddamn frogs are going to take over? Maybe like one of the first signs of it was this Pepe the Frog controversy on the internet. Maybe it's shots fired, things to come. And these frogs are going to start eating meat now.
The Trump frog?
Maybe these frogs are eating meat. That's what's going on.
How did that
just
start?
Get smarter.
Pepe the Frog, was that around before
Got it, Jamie?
Trump?
What is this, Jamie? Oh, I've seen this.
The frog has a snake in its mouth, and the snake's fucking
Yeah.
attacking a cat.
Whoa.
Oh, the cat comes over to swat the fucking snake. Cats are ruthless, bro. Cats are ruthless. Is like in this fucking gigantic audience full of people, and this is Leonard Skinner. The crazy thing is Leonard Skinner came out of Florida before people figured out Florida sucks. See, because when I was a kid, Florida was cool. And if you're listening to this, you know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Florida
if you lived
the
in
state?
Florida, yeah, Florida the state. If you listen to this, you know what I'm saying, folks. I used to live there. I lived in Gainesville.
Wow.
I used to live there for a while. But Florida back then, nobody had figured out that Florida sucks. It was like,
Yeah.
Florida's the place to go to get away from this fucking winter. And they'd all go down there and they'd all move. And then we realized, like, it's all the dregs, all the weirdos.
Yeah, I remember
pillheads.
seeing if somebody had a T-shirt, because I grew up in Louisiana, if somebody had a T-shirt that said Florida on it, dude, that was, I mean, they were somebody, you know?
Wow, they made it.
Yeah,
They
like
got
they
to
made
Florida.
Yeah, they're like,
Really?
dang, Florida, yeah. Florida?
So Louisiana looked up to Florida.
Oh, definitely, dude, because Florida had that coastland. They had pictures of sunshine on their shirt.
That's right, sunshine.
Yeah. They have that sun or people sitting out like an umbrella, you know?
And
Florida.
when you were a kid, they weren't infested with alligators yet either.
I don't think so. I mean, you didn't worry about it as much then. You know, if you lost somebody to an animal or something back then, I feel like it wasn't as big of a deal as it is now.
Really?
Yeah. In the 80s and 90s, if you lost somebody to an animal or an animal bite, it was more, you know, part of God's plan, I think. Whereas now it's like just something crazy that happened at Disney World. You know, it was like the biggest thing ever.
Yeah, that little kid. That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, it is.
There
I mean,
was a
it's definitely
goddamn
sad.
monster living at Disneyland. This is how tolerant people get. They get so silly. They're like, well, he was here before us. He's probably a 17-year-old alligator. This is where he lives. This is his peaceful environment. And meanwhile, he ate a baby.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
And you got to be a nasty alligator if you're sitting there. And there's probably been other choices came by. You know, there was probably a couple of, you know, young lovers that were out there by the water earlier and you waited, you know.
You might not get a young lover, though. A young lover might fight back.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and there's two of them. That's true.
I don't know, though. They worry, though. They're pretty invulnerable. You know, if you cut off an alligator's arm, it just grows back.
That's gangster.
That's as gangster as it gets. Go ahead, chop it off, bitch. I'll see you in a month with a new one.
Dude, that's the Tupac of the animal kingdom. Really, when you think about it.
2 fingers full of bullet holes headed to the ambulance, and he's throwing up his fingers. Yeah.
Dude, and how gangster are alligators? Their arms are so short and they're just so capable, man.
I'm sure you've seen the video of that new one that they found in Florida that is on a golf course, and it's like 15 feet long. It's one of the biggest gators I've ever filmed. And these people are on the golf course, and they're looking up at this gator. See if you can find it, Jamie. We can't show it on YouTube. You have to find it on YouTube because that got be pulled off Facebook. There's something happens when you have these animal videos in particular when they go on Facebook, like people own those videos. So when they go to look for, they have like an algorithm that can find it, and if it's on your page, they'll pull your whole page down.
Dang.
Yeah, they own this. But so somebody filmed, there's a couple different angles of it. A bunch of people filmed it because it was so crazy. So these people are all playing golf, and they're in the foreground, so you could see them. Like, there it is. Look at that fucking thing. Yeah. But look at the guy.
And that's a real animal, huh?
Yeah. And watch,
wow.
you realize how big it is when you see a guy. Now watch how this guy walks in the foreground. And the guy, when the guy
It looks
steps out,
Turkish a little, doesn't it?
it looks fake. It looks fake. It looks fucking gigantic. Now you see how big it is.
My God.
Now you understand how big it is because you see this guy. Like, are you kidding me? And they estimated it somewhere around 15 feet.
And did they catch it?
I don't think so, man. They found it again. They found it again in a pond. See if you can find it. They rediscovered this alligator in a pond. I think that was the
I hope alligators.
title of the video.
Maybe they're making a comeback, dude. I hope something comes and attacks at some animal, dude. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to fight something.
Don't fight alligators, man. You don't want to fight them.
Well, I'll get out there and do something, man.
There's this dude that I've had on my podcast before, but his name is Jim Shockey. He's a very famous hunter from Canada, and they hired him to go to a certain river in Africa. I think it was the Congo, but I'm not sure. It might have been the Nile. Anyway, he had to go. He went down there to kill some crocodiles that were eating people. It is one of the craziest videos, man. You go there, and these villagers, like, everyone's got a stump.
Right.
Everyone's missing an arm or a hand, or
Been
they
attacked.
got a chunk bitten out of their chest. It's crazy when you look at these poor people.
Oh.
And they're all just living in fear. And while he was down there, a woman got taken.
Oh.
Yeah, they were upriver looking for these killer crocodiles to try to shoot them. And one of the women was washing clothes, and she just got yanked right out of the water.
God. That'd be the worst, too.
Well, it was really scary, man,
Especially
was
trying
seeing
to
the
do
reaction.
laundry.
Oh, yeah, right? Just
You
trying to
get
wash your
attacked.
underwear. Seeing the reaction of the people, they were wailing, just wailing, crying, you know, because it wasn't just like they lost someone. It's like, God, they lost another person. It's like that woman's gone now forever. She was consumed by a monster. Like that is their actual existence.
Damn.
Sitting by a river that they need its water for life, and the water is infested by monsters who are actively targeting them for food.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's crazy. That'd be like if somebody, like there was a killer in Walmart and they just didn't know who or where it was.
Constantly. Like lions would jump out while you were eating at Walmart.
Yeah.
Or when you're buying food.
Baffling.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it pretty easy, man.
Fuck,
you know?
those people must be so interesting. Like people that live under that kind of pressure, like their view of life, if we can understand their language, I bet they have like a, you know, like you listen to like, read like ancient works of literature or ancient poetry, stuff like that, and you think about it, like these are people that were going through war, like the ancient Greeks and the ancient Romans.
Yeah.
Like you would read their words, you go, well, this is fascinating, even though it's being translated. This is the words of someone who's gone through like sword war.
Yeah.
Back when they would fight with arrows and shit, and swords and catapults, and the intensity of life back then, when death was just around every corner, it was everywhere.
Yeah.
It must be so intense to talk to someone like that.
You should fly in a pygmy or something. You thought about that?
No, but I have had my friend Justin Wren, who has been with the pygmies in the Congos for like many, many years. He goes and builds wells for them.
Wow.
Stays over there for months at a time. He's had malaria 3 times. He's going to come out again soon. He just texted me. I got to text him, and we're going to find a date.
I used to be in the I used to be in the well business a little bit, not wishing wells mostly, though, not water wells, but I worked for this.
This was made by a pygmy in the Congo out of a nail. It's a little knife that Justin brought me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they take these nails, and there's one over there, too. See that nail right there on the desk? That's what it looks like. They hammer these nails out, and they turn them into knives. See, that starts out a nail that they find.
Oh, wow.
And they pound it down and sharpen it and turn it into a knife.
Yeah, dude, if history came back, if history struck back, dude, I wouldn't make it. I wouldn't make it long. I wouldn't make it long.
You'd be fine.
I'm not prepared.
Well, you would be, though. People are adaptable. You're a smart dude, Theo Vaughn.
I would lead, I would think a little bit. I would adapt. I'd lay low in the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, like somebody
Pick your
does on
battles.
Pick my battles, dude. You'd have to kill somebody immediately. You'd have to find the first person in your group, the weakest person, and kill them in front of everybody else. Yeah. Like, you can't just stand there.
You're going to be like, yeah, duh. You got to kill some dude.
Well, think about that, man. You can't stand there and just be in a conversation. You know, everybody's chatting, the group huddling. Everybody's like, you got to take somebody out right then, because that's going to show
your dominance.
100%. I mean, it's at least going to show like this dude is going to do something.
I see what you're saying, but I think if you think ahead, you would think, well, no, then they're going to think that he's arbitrarily going to always kill the weakest person. Eventually, it's going to get to no one because there's going to be the next weakest person. That guy's dead now. And the next week, like, who's to decide whether or not you're weak or you're not weak? If you were going to do that, the person would have to be either a terrible person who is victimizing other people,
right?
Or they would have to have attacked first. It would have to be or they would have to have been such a piece of shit that people were rooting for you.
Like somebody that was real chatty and you just axed them. Dude, there's no way I'm trying to survive the second coming of the universe, and some dude's chatty in my group, bro. Oh, that's not gonna happen.
Especially if he fucks up some hunting parties. You're out there sneaking up on a pig, and he's like, "Oh my god, it's so hot out." You fuck, and the pig runs away, and everybody's hungry.
Yeah, chatty would be the first, man. I think about that kind of stuff. Like if a plane crashed, I already know I'm planned ahead, dude. I'd eat a Vietnamese guy.
Why?
Because that's easy. It's a starter move. If you attack somebody bigger, if you eat somebody bigger in front of other people, it's going to alarm people. But you
got to eat a small person, so stature is important.
I think if you gum down a Viet, people aren't going to be that upset at you.
Well, the Vietnamese people are going to be super upset. What are you talking about?
No,
Somebody's
okay.
dad.
Yeah, they're more understanding of things, dude.
Is this a character you're playing?
No. But if you eat a black lady and her family's there, they're going to be pissed.
So you think a Vietnamese person would let you slide?
I think that they'd be much more forgiving over a couple of day period.
I think
their relatives. You don't think so? Honestly.
Well, one thing, no, I don't think so. I definitely think they'd be super pissed at you, especially modernized ones. But what is interesting is Vietnam is one of the few places where Americans can go back to Vietnam and they don't seem to hold any grudge at all.
Exhibit A. Exhibit A, man, honestly. Asian people in general are just much more forgiving and understanding, it seems like. I feel like. I don't have much.
I think that's a giant generalization.
It probably is, I did a fast for 4 days, and then I was at the Best Buy, and I remember this Vietnamese guy was trying to help me out, and I couldn't even hear him. I was so hungry, and I couldn't.
You did a fast for 4 days?
Oh, dude, yeah.
What were you trying to prove?
I don't know, man. I was probably just dealing with some stuff, and I was just trying to find a different way to handle it,
Right.
And then I remember this Vietnamese guy, and I remember thinking if everybody turned the other way for a second, I could eat this young fella, Ben. His name was Ben, actually, over there in Westwood. I'd never thought.
Oh my God, it's so ridiculous.
But here's the thing: I'd never thought that before.
So you only thought you got to the verge of cannibalism after just 4 days?
Yeah.
Damn. How much weight did you lose?
I probably lost about 4 pounds, but pounds I needed too. You know? But I got clear, man. I could hear, swear to God, y'all could hear somebody fold a piece of bread from 80 feet away, bro. I was so hungry, dude. I could hear a fucking skittle hit the cement across the street. I really could, man.